On the Fish Fingers and Custard's Explosion Network's Doctor Who after show, the first episode since the 27th of October 2022, in which we talked about the power of the Doctor. So there you go. My name's Dylan Blight, joining me, as always, in his 14th regeneration, Ashley Hoblet.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here, and I'm glad that I've also got my 10th face while being in my 14th reincarnation.
It happens to us all eventually, you know?
Just the generator just occasionally repeats itself.
Yeah. So it's just life, you know? It's like growing old.
Yep.
All right, so let's get straight into it. No, let's not if you obviously let's treat this like so I'll put it this way. I went on Tracked, right, to check into the episode just before.
Yes.
I was like, oh, I forgot to check in. They've separated it into a completely.
Well,
like,
they confirmed they're starting at 0 again,
which is wild.
Yeah, which is there was a lot of kerfuffle about the end of New Who. What's this era of Who going to be called? And I'm a strong proponent of this era of Who being called Who Plus, Doctor Who Plus. So it's the Disney Plus era.
Not the new Who?
Not the new Who, yeah.
Could be. Yeah, so they're treating it as fully reboot. Russell T Davies is apparently like, the only way I ever come back to Doctor Who is if I just get to restart that motherfucker every time. I'm back to season 1, baby. Like, no messing around. So that's crazy.
Is it though?
It kind of is, just because I'm like, oh, it's so weird.
I mean, it isn't uncommon to like start at 0, especially more in comic books. You start a new volume, or a new run of a show.
Yeah, but it's
still got the same continuity.
So this is so now there's like 3 brackets
volume.
to Doctor Who. It's like
yeah.
Anyway, so we weren't the biggest fans of the last couple of years of Doctor Who. Hits and misses, but more misses than hits. That's
not
that's
down to
sure.
The cast or Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, more down to a lot of the writing and creative choices.
A lot of the writing and creative direction of the last couple of years was definitely poor. So coming into this, it was a mix of, I remember saying, a year ago, crazy. I remember saying, like, I'm excited. Hopefully it's good, but pulling back to Russell T Davies just feels like such a we screwed the pooch so bad. We gotta go back to the guy who fixed it last time for us, sort of thing. So that was sort of making me feel a bit iffy about it. However, with all that said, we're back, baby. I am absolutely. I was very happy watching this. I don't think this is like the greatest. This is the thing. This never needed to be the greatest episode of Doctor Who ever out, but it just needed to be fun and just like bring back like the core principles of the show and whatever else. And just watching, I was like, it finished, and I just went, well, that was fun. I enjoyed that. I had my full attention. That was a great time. I'm keen for more. Give me more. When's it? Next week? Fuck yeah, let's go, baby. So, I think Beep the Meat is fantastic. Oh, Beep the Meat! We had to go look that motherfucker up and find out it's actually a returning character, so comics and stuff like that. So, which is why we've got 3 writers for the episode. So, Russell T Davies wrote it, and then they based on Pat Mills and Dave Gibbons' story. So, also should say this episode, getting ahead of myself, The Star Beast, directed by Rachel Talalay. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was a good episode. I think there's definitely elements that I didn't enjoy or particularly like, but I feel like more than anything, this was like definitely a setting up episode. They had the idea of, hey, let's reunite Tennant and Donna. This episode, we really need to explain how we were able to do this without after pretty much putting them in a position where they could never be reunited again. How do we retcon that so they can be together? And that's kind of what this episode, that's what the job of this episode is kind of to do, I feel like.
Didn't work for you?
No, I think it was fine. I think elements of the explanation are not great. I feel like there's certain wording they could have used that would have made it a bit more tolerable. But yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. You know, the Meep. I knew the Meep was a character from the comics, I think, beforehand, but I didn't see the twist coming. Surprisingly, obviously, I hadn't read into it too much. But yeah, I mean, it's cool to see David Tennant back as a Doctor. There's some weird stuff with the sonic screwdriver in this episode, and I'll tell you what, you can see the increased budget on screen.
Yeah,
there's a lot more explosions, a lot more graphics. Yeah, it's an interesting choice.
I was just so happy to be watching. Like, first thing, booting up on Disney Plus, you're like, this is odd, but let's go.
Yeah.
And it starts, and I was like, wow, I'm watching on, I think this is 4K. I'm used to ABC iView, barely like 720p. Like, it's just, I was like, I've never seen faces this clear on this show before. Is this?
That's what they always look like.
Is this what it's like on the BBC iPlayer? I don't know. Like, you know,
so no, we have to watch it on actual BBC, or wait till it comes to another streaming service.
Yeah. So I was like, it looked better when I rewatched episodes on Stan, but yeah, ABC iView always looked like shit. So I'm just so used to that. So
actually, that's interesting. I don't know. They haven't got the entire library of Doctor Who on there, do they? It's just this one episode.
Yeah. So I don't know what the go is with that. Maybe eventually, but the other places have got like
licensing deals and
licenses
stuff,
to a certain to
exclusive. Well, I wouldn't have thought they would have exclusivity deals though. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think it'll be exclusivity, but I just think when like the Stan rights are up or whatever, I would be shocked if Disney just pays to have everything over there, especially if this proves to be a big success for them. Because the thing is, if anyone doesn't know, the show is literally this now. It is, hey, are you in the UK? Yeah, it's on BBC. Where are you? Anywhere else? It's on Disney Plus. That's it. There's no, you don't need to go working out. It's like, where do you live? Outside the UK? Disney Plus. So this, and that includes obviously the whole of America, which is going to be the huge thing. And Doctor Who had previously been large in America, especially in the height of its popularity. Like Comic-Cons and stuff like that were pretty big. So I assume Disney's hoping that they can reach some sort of similar success.
Well, I think I'm reading this Radio Times article. It's a huge week for Doctor Who, and overnight ratings for the 60th anniversary special have proven it. The first special, which saw David Tennant and Catherine Tate return to the sci-fi after 15 years, has become the biggest drama launch of 2023 with an overnight audience of 5.8 million. I assume that's BBC ratings. So the biggest rating since the 2019 New Year special.
Go off. All right, so let's talk about the episode. So it starts with I like the way it just starts. Like, there's no fucking around. It's just,
excuse me, you think it just starts?
Well, it kind of does. Oh no, it has David Tennant. It has the Doctor talking to the.
No, it has like a recap video, pretty much. Clearly shot after they've shot the episode, and they're like, "Fuck, we're getting into audience. Nobody's going to understand this without us doing some sort of thing at the start." And it is the most awkward, shot in front of a green screen thing, I think. In any Doctor Who.
Yeah, I forgot about that, to be honest. So they do the thing
you
where they're
purged
like,
it from your mind.
Yeah, purged it from it. They do the thing where they're like, "Oh, I wiped a memory, blah 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 blah." I was like, "Cool, whatever." But the actual episode when it starts, it's 14th Doctor, presumably just post-regeneration, does the usual Doctor thing of, I'm going to head to my favorite location. Like, I'm just going to head to London, or somewhere in the UK or wherever the fuck. Like, I assume that's how it is. It's just like, TARDIS, take me to somewhere I like, see what's going on. Bumps into Donna Noble straight away. So that's the whole, like, there's no mess around. Like, this thing they straight away get into this whole
comedy situation.
Comedy situation, which is very funny because hey, it goes to help, flips off the box, sees it's Donna, puts the box back, which I thought was very funny. And then the fact that when she's then like, Rose, and he's like, Rose. I loved all that. I thought that was quite funny. And then it's revealed, obviously, you find out a little bit later that this is why, but like the mind thing that he did to her, like when the ship's crashing down, anything to do with aliens, Donna's just sort of
Subconsciously avoids it.
Yes, just literally turns away from it and doesn't pay any attention and everything like that. So, Doctor, so straight away it's like this whole thing about why is he the 14th? Don't know. Figure that out later. Donna Noble's here now, so let's not mess around too much. We're like 10 minutes into the episode, I think, before we get like straight into like a transphobic attack by school kids on a fucking bikes riding past Rose, which I thought was like, holy shit, they're just like straight up dead naming her. That's
yes, Russell T Davies era.
Yeah, I was like, he ain't fucking around. Like he's like, I'm back, and apparently he got he's just doing whatever he wants to do, which I have no problem with because, like Russell T Davies is like one of the biggest, I guess, especially UK, like, I know it sounds like a silly term, but I guess queer TV show
runners,
creators, and like,
what was his last show that you really enjoyed?
I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, it was like the mini-series thing that was really good.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called.
It was like 6 or 7 people in that show. You're like, they should be the Doctor.
Yeah, they were all really, really good. I wonder how. It was about the AIDS epidemic and shit like that. So, but I mean, like, obviously, Russell T Davies is always.
It's a sin. That was it.
It's a sin. There you go. Then I look at Torchwood. The introduction. Bunch of characters in that quick. Like I've seen people.
He literally made the show queer as folk. So I mean,
yeah. So people are acting like this is such a shocking thing, but this is just Russell T Davies, right? This is just he's a vocal supporter and always has been for queer characters and stuff in anything he makes. So I don't feel like it's I've seen that, and I don't know how much time you want to spend on it. Obviously, the trans stuff in this episode, the pronoun stuff in this episode, that's caused a lot of. Well, that's it. They fucking wrote it. It's
fucking woke.
It's fucking woke. I've seen people posting Twitter videos of what would be considered woke nowadays from early 60s episodes of Doctor Who, and like saying Doctor Who's always been woke, which it has. So I don't know, like. I've just been ignoring it because I really don't feel like it's worth putting there's no point arguing with these people. There's no point really going the thing that they honestly, you've never been the audience. If you slipped into Doctor Who and you enjoyed it for a while and you somehow missed or didn't take in any of the storylines and messages that are quite
there was like a massive the last Doctor was in a kind of lesbian relationship, and then even with Matt Smith's era, there was a very prominent lesbian / interspecies relationship that was part of the show.
Like, so people were like, they were just friends.
Sure.
And I mean, political wise, the show has always throughout its history tackled worldwide events and stuff from predominantly a left-leaning view.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like there's anything shocking about
the Doctor's never like, get that money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you destroy the environment. You need that money. It's fine.
The show's usually the show's heavily about
slavery, keep doing it.
Yeah. And if you're like, well, that's not political, you're a fucking idiot. Like, at a certain stage, slavery was a very political issue. So, I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on any of that sort of stuff?
I thought it was fine. The thing I take issue with is the explaining why she was transgender, which is part of the later in the episode, which I didn't think was necessary. But yeah, other than that, she was a great actress. I enjoyed her in the one season of Heartstopper I watched. So
Yasmin Finney is really, really good in Heartstopper, both seasons.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't think she's in anything else. Maybe nothing I've watched.
Not yet, I would think.
No, that's literally it. 2 seasons of Heartstopper, Doctor Who. That's it. That's her acting degree. She was in a short called Mars. So there you go. Fucking what a career. So we do follow Rose through to her TARDIS, as we find out later, I guess, or the shed, where after she runs out, they hear, she's got a friend out there, is like, oh, fucking aliens, Christ, all this while, let me head back, I'll get my phone or something. And I'm like, this is unrealistic, because what teenager doesn't always have their phone on them?
Who doesn't have it on all the time? So it doesn't make sense.
I was like, straight out, the writing's bad now. Super unrealistic. Runs back and then bumps into Beep the Meep in the alleyway
in the trash.
In the trash, where we find out it belongs. And then they go through to she brings Beep the Meep into her little shed, and they talk, and they have this really fucking funny sequence, and it was glorious. They uploaded some of this onto YouTube like early in the week, and I'd already seen that sequence with Donna, which I thought was still quite funny, poking its eye and stuff. They uploaded that as a clip, so I knew that was coming. But yeah, just the like where she like gives it her toy or whatever, and then pulls out the stuffing. It's like, ah! There's a lot of funny stuff happening here. And then when Donna comes in, it's like, oh, that's one of your best ones yet, and it just blinks and there's whatever else. And I really liked, and it's practical is the other thing, I guess. I mean, it's but it's a combination of effects, but it looks really, really good. Yoda-esque, I guess. A bigger version of Yoda.
Yeah, when it's cute, it's great.
When it's cute, it's really fucking cute, which makes the switch great work so much better, I think, later when it just goes full fucking evil. So
yeah.
But yeah, around this time we also meet the what are they called? I wrote found it here somewhere. Wrath Warriors. Yeah. So they're who, at this time you see come down, you assume they're the bad guys.
I assume it's oh no, it is Wrath. I thought it was gonna be Wraith.
No. Wrath Warriors, they come down, they're like, oh, we're hunting the Meep. Beep the Meep. Yep. Oh no. And then we got a bunch of around this time then Doctor breaks into the crash landing site of a alien ship, gets in, we meet a new character, fucking what's their names here somewhere, Shirley Ann Bingham. And this was another thing, I can't believe I saw this, and I was like, wow, by the way, to show you, put the biggest like clown face moment I think I've seen on Twitter this week is someone quote retweeting and going, I have no problem with their putting disabled characters in a show, but when you very clearly see that this person can move their legs. Why the fuck would you tweet that? That is so. And then everyone just like went to ham on this person and said, "You're a fucking ableist idiot." Like just because you can move your legs or like something doesn't mean you don't require a wheelchair. And I was like, "Oh, this is just fucking glorious." It was the biggest like absolute. I mean, and that tweet was still up. Like,
yeah, I mean, it could just literally be their feet that are injured, but the rest of their legs they have full movement in. But they can't stand because of that,
Yeah,
there's so many.
But it's also that thing of like, this. I mean, it's fucking wild because I don't know. Like maybe it's just because like I certainly don't like. I have people come into work in wheelchairs, right? And I can see them. Mm-hmm. Like if I see them move, I don't go, "Oh, you cheeky fuck."
You're just trying to get a cool disability pension. Try and get that good handicap parking space.
Yeah, trying to get fucking you just wanted the good space. I was like, Jesus Christ. I don't know. I know if I was like, I can't believe I don't know. I thought we would pass that place. But I thought we as a society would pass that point where it's like, but apparently not. Anyway,
why would you think that?
Yeah, if you have a wheelchair, you've got. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I didn't realize if you have a disability, you need to clearly state it, and you are got to make it very obvious for everyone around you as to what it is, so they don't question your disability. Is what I've found out. So, also that's sarcasm for anyone who doesn't understand it. But yeah, so new character for Yeah, that's right. New character for worked for us, So, new character introduced for what's the fucking company called?
Unit.
Fuck. Unit. Yeah, fucking going straight. Yeah. So yeah, and from my understanding, she's going to be a recurring. Yeah, unit. That's what I'm saying. She's going to be a recurring member of unit, right?
Recurring.
So cool. Yeah. She will be back in future episodes, is what I say. And around this time, they do a joke about going upstairs, and she's like, just like, that was something. The dude goes, "I'm sorry, there's stairs up there," and she goes, "Don't worry, just go." I was like, "Why are you saying sorry? There's stairs up there." It's like, you didn't build the stairs, my dude. But anyway, they go up to the ship, and then
You didn't build the steelworks.
Yeah, exactly. So they go up into the ship. They get like mind controlled. Later, we find out that's beat the meats, mind controlling sort of stuff. Anyway, go back to the house. Doctor follows screams and stuff like that. Ends up back at Donna Noble's house, of course. The funniest thing is that her mum automatically recognizing the doctor's face through the window, where he's like, "Let me in," and she's just like, "You," which I thought was quite a bit of fun. I didn't look up. I assume it is the exact same actress, right? For Donna Noble's mum. I didn't look. Let's have a look here. It is, yeah, exact same actress. So, then we get into, as the episode continues, we get into the cross. I don't know. I guess it's what you were talking about. You get the Wrath come in shooting, and then you get the Beep the Meep trying to escape and everything like that, and then the sonic screwdriver is somehow able to create force fields. Is this what you meant?
Yes. I mean, on top of him having a like holographic display, which may be a thing that was a thing, but we were never able to see it because of budget reasons. You know? But yeah, him actually being able to create force fields, wild.
Sonic screwdriver got an upgrade, I guess. I can live with it.
And he's just, what, you just suddenly realized I could be making force fields this entire time.
Right. It takes you to the 14th Doctor to work out, how to actually learn how to use the sonic screwdriver to its full capabilities. So
yeah.
Anyway, they escape. Beep the Meep runs somehow through. They go up across all these houses through their joint roofing or what attics, whatever they're called, stuff like that. Very funny sequences. I just like watching every character crawling along on their fours, and then the Meep just like waddling along. I thought it was quite funny. They all end up at the place. The little shootout happening, and then they run away, and then we get into the
again another showcase of the massive budget in this.
Yeah,
like
a lot
prolonged
of shooting.
and explosions.
Yeah, and drone shots.
Yeah,
all that sort of stuff. So it looked really, really good. So no complaints. They run away. They get away. Then they stop. The Doctor sort of clicks onto it and realizes that there's something happening, I guess, when looks to one of the soldiers that had been shot by the insect things, the Wrath, and sees that they're still alive and not actually dead, and then that the car they're escaping in while being shot is not actually taking any damage. So they pull into a car park garage, and then he puts on whatever you call the judge things.
It's an old wig
thing somehow. Where that comes from, I don't know.
Lawyer wig, Yeah.
Whips it out thin air, calls down and starts court.
Yep,
which I thought was quite fun.
Pulls out the whatever proclamation, whatever it's called.
Yeah, something proclamation, something. Basically says no one shoot each other. We're having a good old fashioned court case here. And then the Meep eventually reveals itself for this fucking crazy sequence where it's just complete voice change. Its claws come out, teeth look like daggers. Yeah, it goes from very cute to very evil in about 2 seconds, and it shoots the insect things. And then I also like how the Doctor goes to do his usual thing, which is somehow talks his way out of it and begins doing now what we need to do, and then just gets knocked on the back of the head. Instead of doing I was like, oh, that's fun. All kidnapped, end up back at the spaceship, escape. sends Donna, goes to send everyone away basically, but then Donna realizes, or has a calling, I guess, a sense that she needs to help, remembers the doctor's name. So then you've got these like memories creeping back in, chases after the doctor into the meat ship, and he's trying to stop it from terraforming Earth to take off, is I guess the simplistic way of putting it. Yeah. It was like something about energy and not enough, but then, anyway.
Well, the ship is powered by using the planet as fuel, so it would have eaten up all of like a 5-mile radius or whatever.
Yeah.
Which it starts to do.
Yeah.
And then magically fixes when it
retracts it back up. I don't know.
Perfectly.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So then they do all this. Doctor's like, no, I can't help you. They get separated because of some like force field thing that comes down between them, separates them, and then they have this I thought it was really well done, but performance wise between them both, where it's this whole thing about the 14th Doctor, David Tennant, realizing that the only way he'll have to unlock her memories to be able to save everyone else, even though he doesn't want to at first. But then you've got Donna saying, my daughter's down there, her family's down there, I need to save them, all that sort of stuff. So, do whatever you need to do. Basically says a bunch of...
Also a homage to the last episode it was in, with obviously the Perspex separation.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So
that was quite cool. And then they get... so it says a bunch of random words, which reminded me of, I guess, the... I don't know, like when his memories were locked away. No, I was about to say, Winter Soldier, sure. It was only of the fob watch thing when he was like locked away, because that was the same sort of scenario, I guess. Had certain words unlock the memories and stuff. So, then we get Dr. Donna back, and Dr. Donna goes to work and goes ham, and says this is the greatest 2 minutes of her life or whatever.
She gets very upset at the doctor first.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because she gave away the $133 million. Yeah, that was funny.
It was. I like how they mess around. They were like, oh, remember that lotto ticket you gave? Like, how are we going to explain that? And it was like, nah, she gave it away.
She gave it away because she subconsciously wanted to be like the doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if the doctor gave it away. Depends which version of the doctor.
I mean, yeah, he would have. He doesn't care for money, so.
True. Who needs money when you've got all space and time,
Exactly. When you've got a TARDIS that can be your home.
Yeah. So Dr. Donna comes out. They save the day by flicking a bunch of switches and stuff that just a bunch of scientific or non-scientific mumbo-jumbo terms that they throw around.
Yeah.
Save the day, and then they do this whole reveal thing is... basically that the power or the Time Lord... Now, this is where we're in the struggle. Yeah. So the Time Lord essence or whatever they called it. I can't remember what the actual name was.
Here's what I'm going to read from Wikipedia.
Okay.
To the Doctor's surprise, Donna does not die. With Rose's birth, Donna has passed down part of the Metacrust into her, awakening some of the memories of Donna with Rose, whose shed and the stuffed toys were unconscious imitations of the TARDIS and the aliens that her mother encountered with the Doctor.
Yep.
Yeah. So she passed down the metacrisis across two
Some
people.
of it, yeah.
Because it was too much for one person.
Yeah. And I've got to be honest, I was like, fair enough.
Okay. That works.
That works.
It's like her saying, oh, the reason I'm transgender is because I wanted to be non-binary. It's like, okay, you didn't really need to have that. I don't think that was a necessary thing to have as part explaining why she's transgender.
I didn't take it as an explanation, though. I didn't take it that way. I thought it was just like they were just saying, like, because Donna Noble in that sequence just says binary, 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 and then they have it so that Rose was the person saying non-binary. It was just I just took it as explaining how they were the two sides of the split of information or that form or whatever. It just so happens that, of course, having her be the one that says non-binary does make it seem like It's like some sort of explanation. But I think if you reversed it, it's the exact same effect. Like if you had Donna saying non-binary and then Rose saying binary, it's still, that's how I took it. I don't think it's supposed to be any sort of explanation or like reasoning, especially because I don't feel like Russell T Davies is going to do a storyline where it's like a trans person is trans because of, that's not.
I don't think he did it on purpose. I think it's just it can easily be interpreted in that way, and that's the way I interpreted it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just don't. I definitely don't feel like that's the way it's meant to be. Like taken literally. I don't think it's meant to be literal. Yeah, the rest. I mean, basically, it works for me. And then they even their most simplistic explanation of how to get rid of all this, where the doctor's like, "Well, we're going to be able to figure out a way to get rid of all this energy, or else you're both going to die," like this. And they're like, "Well, we'll just choose to get rid of it."
But why didn't you do that 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
I don't know. I guess it was like because they're like split, they have longer, and because they have more control. They don't go into like full robotic form or whatever, they have more consciousness to be able to choose to do that. That's just me, like fan feeling.
Again, also, I didn't love some of the dialogue here about saying, "Oh, if you were still the 13th Doctor, then you would understand. As a woman, we can just let it go." I don't think that was necessary. They could have just said, "Oh, we want to let it go," but you specifically make a reference to them because they're women being able to do it,
Yeah. I mean, it was fine. Whatever.
It's fine. I don't think it was. Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary, but I definitely hear, I hear jokes like that all the time. Like,
Also weird if this is a starting point or a reboot, that, to make mentions of the 13th Doctor that probably a large portion of the audience has not seen. I like the joke earlier on where he shows the pad thing to Donna's husband in the cab. He's like, head mistress. It says head mistress.
Yeah. And he's like, catch up.
That's a cool joke. But, other than that, didn't love it.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like that was the only one where I can agree and say that was a little bit felt a bit forced. Like, I know the other one that people have been going on about is just the pronouns part with the meat. But even that, I was like, that's fair. I actually like that because
it's understandable if there's a transgender person in the room. That would be like, that's something they consider.
Yeah. And it's just like,
and he was drunk. He called the meat a he, and it's voiced by a female actress. So
yeah. And I can't remember the exact wording, but it's just like the meep uses the term of meep or whatever. It's like, okay, it's not a he, it's not she,
it's just meep.
It's meep.
A little bitch. No.
Yeah. So I agree, but it's not going to bother me. I don't fucking
no. It's just such a small detail. Yeah,
it's like whatever. And then so the episode ends. They go to the TARDIS. You get a sequence which I'm pretty sure wasn't acting, but just David Tennant seeing it for the first time, and
making sure. Oh well, you'd hope it wasn't because he ran around a lot, and I'd feel bad for the camera person, like trying to keep track of him.
Yeah, really goes ham. First question I had is: so do you reckon we're just seeing this TARDIS for 3 episodes, and they just have to change it all again? Like,
no, surely not. I think this is the new TARDIS that
wild
probably Judy will have.
Or maybe slightly different, but like using the same base or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
mean, it looks cool, obviously, with the lighting, and it is huge. Another case of like they got a pretty big budget. Yeah, it looks cool, and it looks like there's a bunch of rooms offered and that kind of stuff. So not that there hasn't been rooms offered in the past, but
no, but with what had one episode where they've ever explored the rooms in the TARDIS, so I think
what the journey inside the TARDIS.
Yeah, that one. Like that's it, right? Only one.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then when they were exploring it all, and we thought it was just gonna. Donna's like, "No, I got to stay. I got a daughter to look after, and all these sorts of things." And Also, just quickly before I wrap up, I thought the funniest, and also again, just like going back to the like after that whole dead naming shit and coming inside and all that whatever, I love the delivery of Donna Noble, like of Catherine Tate's like just doing this whole thing. Is like, you have a child, you have this beautiful daughter, and then you look, and then sometimes you just think, wow, did I create that? That's amazing. And then she looks at her mum. Like, I thought it was so good.
I mean,
what the fuck was I saying?
The comedy in this is really good.
The comedy is really good. It's quite fun. They go back into TARDIS. They thought that was just gonna, have a look-see around or whatever, but the TARDIS says
no, they want to go visit Wilf.
Oh, Wilf, that's right, yeah. Wilf.
That's right. And I
who
forgot
isn't dead.
who isn't dead in this. Obviously, the actor who played Wilf, Bernard Gibbons, has passed away since, but he did film stuff prior to his passing. So he may appear in one of the next 2 episodes, I'd assume. But yeah, I mean, they can't very much telegraph what was going to happen. Like every time you step in there, something goes wrong and you go on some massive adventure.
Yeah.
It'd just be a quick trip. No.
Yeah. Off they go. And we know they're not going, we know they're going somewhere weird next episode. So
yeah.
Credits.
But yeah, this brand new TARDIS, 2 minutes in, set on fire.
Yep. Coffee machine though.
Yeah. Seems impractical to like bring it slowly up.
Why not?
But whatever.
Any other thoughts?
No, I think we covered most things, yeah, it looks really good. The new titles look really good.
Oh, the whole title sequence and the music with a bit more bass and shit. Fucking the end credit song. Yeah, I like it all. It's good shit.
Yeah, some good shit, And it still sounds like Doctor Who. It's like they haven't thrown everything out, But yeah, it's good. I'm excited to see what happens next week.
Yeah, very good. I'm very excited to have it back. I'm all aboard. Just I felt such a mixed feelings coming into it, but I'm very much like, oh no, fuck it. I'm just gonna enjoy it. Who cares about Russell T? I've nothing against Russell T Davies. I was just worried, just felt sort of sad that's sort of where I'm now.
We're going back.
Yeah, that we had to go back, but what? Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah. How'd you feel when he said Alonsi for the first time?
Whatever. I was like, he said it. Cool. Whatever. I'm not going to tear up at Alonzi as a line.
No.
David Tennant hasn't died and come back and
yeah. I did again also like the joke about Donna saying, once you reach a certain age, you can't wear tight suits anymore.
What age is that?
I think it's 35 is what you said. Clearly implying that he's much older.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for joining us on this first episode of the new series, officially series 1 of Fishing is a Custard. Of course, you can find all our other stuff on explosionnetwork.com, including other podcasts and stuff. Check them all out. And we'll be back next week talking about much more Doctor Who. We've got 2 more specials, next week's special, the week after the special, and we got the Christmas special. Shooty Gotwa, and then
it's coming.
It's coming very soon, and then next year at some point. I don't think they've said the date yet. The official first Shooty Gotwa season. But presumably the Doctor regenerates at the end of the 3rd episode, the one with Neil Patrick Harris as the toy maker.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy. He'll be the second shortest running Doctor.
Yep. But the only Doctor to have 2 runs, not. I don't know else will be able to say that.
I mean, technically, it's the same actor with the second run.
Same actor, but no other actor can say they played the Doctor twice. There's 2 different versions.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's 2 different versions. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't say 2 different characters. It was Peter. There was another video on YouTube where you had David Tennant and Catherine Tate running through their episodes together, and that it was funny hearing them talk about it, and then they're just like back and forth. And they're like, oh, and then we did that episode, and we ran into Peter Capaldi in that episode. And then they're like, well, who else is in that episode? Karen Gillan was in that episode too. And then they're talking about stuff like that. And then he's like, and then we go, and then I meet. Then we go to the Doctor's Daughter episode where I meet my wife, and then Catherine Tate's like, what? And he's like, that's where I met my. Oh, that's right. That's where. Okay, yeah, no, we're good. It's that's a funny video to watch if you want to hear them just back and forth talk about their season together. It's quite funny. Anyway, what was I saying? Ending the show, right? Yes. If you want to hear me and Ash talk about other movies and TV and stuff like that, check out What Do You Want to Watch as well, of course, on all good podcast services and explosionhour.com. You can find it there as well. Follow us on X/Twitter. It's changed its name since we last recorded the show. So explosionhour.com/Twitter takes you to our X page. And sign us off, Ash.
Alonzi? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Why not? For this next 3 episodes, Alonzi!